Hey everybody, Riot Mort back with another PvE game, checking out Horizonbound on the PvE, which means you get to listen to me talk to myself some more. We got a new portal right away, Finn's Market. You can see people torn between Finn's Market, the new one, and Scuttle Puddle. Hopefully we don't get one guide here so we can test out the new portal. Cool. Hey look, I won. Riot Diff. Alright, great. I got a good game for you. This is an exciting one. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. So, Finn's Market basically says occasionally Finn will show up and give you a choice of a powerful item. Could be a normal item, could be a artifact, could be a support item. We'll see. Could even be a radiant item. Cool. Alright, right away we get Misfortune, very powerful unit. We saw that yesterday. A lot of people playing Bilgewater, but very powerful unit, could pair well with Strategists. We do get 2 Poppies, which is a pretty good start. We've also got some Bruisers here. You know me, I always love my Bruisers. If I can get 3 Bruiser in, should be pretty solid. But yeah, since we have the Cho'Gath, we may as well try to grab the stacks. Could be something into a Void line. And you know me, the thing is, yes, I should be testing the new content, but kind of want to play what we hit and see how we can do, you know, and see how everything compares, stuff like that. So it's always good to try to get as many games in as you can. So, all right, now we hit some Shurima here. Now Shurima has changed quite a bit. It's a 2-4-6-9 now. And the fact that it's 2-4-6 means it's a really good splash. I imagine you're gonna see a lot of Nasa Sazir. That's just gonna be a great splash in the late game. 2-piece makes one of them ascend, 4 is they all ascend, and 6 is they all ascend at the start of combat. So, yeah, should be pretty good. Big fan of Shurima, although right now it's ascending my Cassiopeia, but that's not the worst. Item-wise, we have a Giant Slayer, nothing too great here. Start off with Prismatic. Looking at what we have here, nothing too great. I don't want Starter Kit. Caretaker's Chosen can be really good, especially in a low-pressure lobby like PvE. So we're going to go ahead and take that. We can probably level up here at some point. We got to figure out what we want to sell here. If I sell the Rek'Sai, I'm giving up the Bruiser line. But maybe we play Shurima, and the level up should give us a nice item. So we get our first item from Caretaker's Chosen. And if we take something like the Tier here, because it's all offensive stuff, the Tier could be an option, but that'll leave us with Hurricane. But instead, we can build an Adaptive Helm here and a Giant Slayer. So that's a good pairing. Adaptive Helm, very much like Shojin. And then the Giant Slayer is just a little bit of extra power. Nothing too bad here. And so there we go. We've got 2 Bruiser, 2 Shurima, with Misfortune cranking out the damage. Now you'll notice her damage is in the shape of an X now, which is pretty cool. We talked about this yesterday, but pretty powerful. Raining the damage here, and you can see tops our damage meters, pretty solid. So hopefully our strongest board here. Now granted, we were up against somebody with Hedge Fund, so they'll be a little scary later, I have to imagine. So we should plan to try to get to 7, figure out what our Radiant item is, and go from there. All right. 2-2, we find a pair of Cassiopeias, that's awesome. Pair of Cho'Gaths. Excuse me. So we have a pair of Renekton's, pair of Chos. Nothing too bad here. Couldn't really hit 10. So we'll just chill. Since I have a Cassiopeia too, may as well have her ascend. That ascension can be pretty strong. So remember, strongest if it's ever a tie, which right now it is because it's number of items and then most recently placed. And so since both Renekton and Cassiopeia have 0 items, we got to make sure, you know, that Cassiopeia is the one to ascend. Now we are up against this Cho'Gath here with a Spirit Visage, but thankfully Cassiopeia is applying Wound, which is going to lower that healing, so we might actually be able to win this since they were level 3. Whew, that was close. Some lucky positioning on our side. Giant Slayer came in handy as well. So we do end up winning that fight, which is good. Keeps the streak going. Feels pretty good. All right, what's next here? Okay, now this is tempting. We checked the Ixtal, by the way, and it's Ice. Ice is a good one. Ice makes it so that when the person, it's almost like Zonya's, where it's like they go below half health, they will heal, they will, you know, be immune to damage. and then they'll heal 30% of their health. So 2 Nikos and a Milio here. It's not like we've committed to the Bruiser frontline. We could play this. It's actually really tempting. But I'm going to go ahead and greed it instead. Keep the 10 gold. Now we do end up in a level 5 fight here, but everything's 1 star and there's no items slammed. So maybe we can win this. Renekton's going to need a big hit here. Not looking good. The X is doing damage though. Ooh, Cassiopeia ascended. Whew. All right, keeping the win streak here feels really good. That's a big win. It's not like they leveled on purpose. They had March of Progress, so sweet. Hopefully we can hit some of these frontline pairs. Renekton 2 would be a big upgrade. Item-wise, we don't care too much. I mean, that Misfortune is a Misfortune pair and a Rod, which is good, but first thing taken. Belts are usually really good here for Shurima. You can put a belt on the Renekton, and that'll improve that healing regen that comes with Shurima. So I'm kind of leaning to the belt right now. Armor is also okay just for a frontline item. And it gets taken. So we're going to go with the Tear here. Tear not ideal, but at least it gives us our Renekton 2. So we can try to keep that win streak. Okay, Finn shows up and we get a support item. Randuin's Omen, Shroud, Zephyr, and Needlessly Big Gem. Now in this particular case, I think Randuin's is going to be hard to position around. I'm not a big fan of that. So we're going to go with the Big Gem here. And the Big Gem is going to allow us to try to generate a little extra gold and a little extra power. Hopefully we can get pretty strong here. We're going to go ahead and maybe put in 4 Shurima, but feels like a bit of a bait. At the very least, we can put in Nefirdi to give us Darken. Darken's going to power up somebody when Nefiri dies. And ooh, this is a scary matchup right away. We have a Noxus Warwick 2 with the new Virtue item, which is really good. Now, thankfully, Misfortune doing some good work here. Okay, the Big Gem is about to proc. Big Gem just procced. We do have Giant Slayer. It's so close. It's actually good that the Warwick died last, because Virtue, the way it works, is if the champion dies, that gets 2 giant procs of healing. And so because it was last, they didn't get that. And so thankfully, we're barely able to win the fight. Thank God they didn't level. So kind of lucky that that worked out in our favor here. All right, there's not really a way to make this board that much stronger. That gives us Invoker, which is okay. All right. We're just kind of praying here. The problem is if I lose, I want to sell the Vi. And I don't want to sell a pair of Cho'Gaths. So this is a tough one here. All of these boards are pretty equal. We are up against somebody who got a Zeke's with 2 2-star Cassiopeias. I'm pretty worried we lose this. The Cassiopeias with the Zeke's might just melt us. Now, the thing to note here is Cassiopeia now, or excuse me, Zeke's now hits 5 units, so it ends up being a lot more powerful. Ooh, Misfortune. Oh, come on. If that had hit the other person, oh, we lose by 1. Thankfully, we get the Big Gem gold, so we don't have to sell anything. But, yeah, a little rough there. Didn't get to keep the streak. So, minus 6 gold there from the streak gold. But that's okay. Copium. Alright. Position up. Get some good items, hopefully. And again, right now, it seems like we're playing around Shurima, possibly. Because if you look at these items on Misfortune, they could go on someone like Azir. So maybe we're just playing Strategists. We'll have to see. We want a really strong front line, though, so we can get as much gold from this Big Gem support item as we can. A belt's good. Again, we talked about that. Belt's being good in Shurima. 3 gold here to hit 30. Pretty solid. 2 more gold from Big Gem. Ooh, a Warmogs. Okay. I'm down. I'm down for just a Warmogs. Yeah, Warmogs on Renekton seems quite good here. Okay, we're going to sell those so that we can buy the Nefirdi pair. Cool. All right. And it's PBE, so someone already FF'd. And if you look at the side, by the way, we do have a Cruel Pact player in the lobby. So whenever we face that Cruel Pact player, we're going to take a ton of damage, which is a little scary. So, hey, look at that. Called it. Cruel Pact player. The Sona applying that Shred and Sunder. The Renekton gets the armor and MR from that adaptive helm. If we won this, that'd be great, but it's very unlikely. The Warmog Shurima healing, trying to do as much as it can. Big gem procs, I at least get my gold. Oh, if Renekton had cast there, we might have had a shot, but nope. Take our damage. That's okay, now we're on a loss streak. So, you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, let's see what our augment is. Alright, Silver. Healing Orbs, Branching Out, Unified Resistance. Nothing particularly exciting here. Branching Out is very risky to take here. Transfusion's probably the right choice, but it's PBE. What do we get? We got Freljord Emblem. Okay. So the nice thing here is because Freljord's a 2-3 now, we could just turn this Vi into a Sejuani later. Alright, we get our full item anvil from Caretaker. Ionic Spark seems quite good. That's going to give us our shred that we need. Cool. So if we ever find a Sejuani, we'll have 2 Freljord, 2 Bruiser. That seems pretty solid. Can't complain. We also find a Silco. Now, Silco is my personal favorite champion. I loved dot mages every time we do them. Malzahar, Brand, Teemo, you name it. Silco's an AoE dot mage. So this is pretty cool. You'll see here. Throws it down. And the cool thing is if you have allies standing in the green toxins, it'll actually heal them. So you can see that plus 16 on Renekton right now. That's coming from Silco. So this makes Silco really good with just flat AP, because AP is going to scale both the healing and the damage. Whereas something like Jeweled Gauntlet, heals can't crit. That's not going to be as advantageous. So, all right. Hopefully we can find some strong AP items. At the very least, Adaptive Helm seems solid here. We hit some good pairs. That's going to give us 4 Shurima, which means the whole team, sorry, all the Shurima people ascend, which is good. We find a Shen. Shen always good, but it's, you know, we have a bunch of 2 stars here, so nothing to change, really. Still, feels pretty solid here. I like that we got the Ionic Spark. That's going to, you know, increase the damage from things like Cassiopeia and from Silco. All right. Up against somebody who's very clearly super greeding here. Hedge fund into balanced budget. So, all right, there's that healing from Silco, which is pretty cool. So yeah, the healing from Silco, the healing from Shurima with that Warmogs, that should give us a strong front line, and you can see we're pumping out the gold here from the big gem. Feels good, and Renekton actually topped the damage there. Neat. Is Renekton broken? Probably not. Probably not. Alright, looking for an item. There is a Silco there. We could just get another Silco. It's got a cloak. Maybe nobody wants it. Early Silco 2 could be good. There's no Sejuani. The Cruel Pact player lost a round, by the way, so that's not good for them. Oh, tried to fake him out, didn't work. That's a shame. That's a shame. Alright, we go with the armor here. Can get some front line, maybe get something like a Bramble later. Okay. We hold on to the Swain. That could give us 2 Sorcerer. That can give us Strategist later when we play with the Azir. I like this play. It keeps the front line super strong for our big gem to proc even quicker. So, of course I like... That's like the Obama meme, right? Good job, Mort. Way to make that great play that you just made. Alright, so we're looking for a Sejuani. We're playing around the Silco right now. Again, these items can just go on Azir when we find it, so maybe we're just playing 6 Shurima from this point. Up against that scary Warwick we struggled with a little last time, barely beating it. But I feel like our Renekton now much beefier than the last time we fought this. The Ascension kicks in. We've got that wound from the Cassiopeia, making our gold from Big Gem. Big Gem now gives you plus 35% damage no matter what. You don't have to keep a bunch of gold to proc it. So it's easier to use as well, which is pretty nice. All right, one more win, and we'll head in with a streak, hopefully. Yeah, nothing in the shop here. Should be good. Okay. Looking at the side there, Cruel Pact player building their way back up. We see a Misfortune 2 get hit. All good. But yeah, so far, like I said, shurima pretty standard here. Now, the one thing to note about Nefuri is the way it works is he's, passes on when he dies, passes on his weapon, and his weapon will shoot those extra dogs. So it's pretty cool when you see, like, the dogs coming out of Azir or Renekton or something. We are up against... They got Recombobulator, by the way, and they have an Aphelios 2. Somehow, I don't think we win this. It's close. Renekton's trying. God, they have an Aatrox too, though. I don't know. I don't think Silco wins this. God, it was close. It's close. Oh, come on. For how strong they were, that was close. We almost had it, but not quite. All right, Swain's our next in. Find the Azir. That would give us 2 Sorcerer, 2 Strategist. Powers up the back line, gives us some tankiness in the front line. Hopefully we can find something like that. Okay. All right, item-wise, we got a tier, Lesser Duplicator. We can use that on Swain if we want. 2 Karmas. I don't think we're playing Karma. Oh, Finn's back. Okay, so again, Finn can show up multiple times in this portal, and this time he's going to give us a Radiant item. Now, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Morello since it got buffed. It's now a 3% burn instead of 2%. That's a lot of burn, and okay, now that we leveled, we get our Radiant item. We could go blue buff Morello Silco here. That's kind of what I'm eyeing. Shiv would... Like, there were a lot of good options there. Uh-oh. We have 2 removers and a reforger. Come on, Mort. Oh. Look at this grandpa APM. Hopefully it doesn't cost us. We find a Jarvan. That's another strategist. All right, so now if you look at the true damage that we're going to be doing with the Silco, it's actually a pretty sizable amount. 3%, again, if you think about it, it's triple what a normal Morellas would do. We do lose continuing streak, but yeah, look at that true damage. It's a pretty hefty chunk. So, feels pretty good. And Infernal Contract, Overwhelming Force, no. So, Radiant Relics. Okay, this is where, now, Egg is tempting, but I went with this because, and I think Gunblade's the choice, because we have a unique opportunity we don't have that often here. And so if you look at what we're going to make here, I think we have Radiant Blue, Radiant Morello, Radiant Gunblade Silco. We have a triple Radiant Silco. We can put these items on for Azir later. Get rid of the Karma. Now we have 2 Sorcerer active. This should be a strong Silco, so we need to get Silco 2 quick. But overall, yeah, we burn one of our removers just to give us some bench space here. Ooh, someone just hit Darius 3. The Cruel Pact player just hit Darius 3. That's a little scary. So we're up against this Cho. But again, now that we have Radiant Morello doing that 3% true damage burn, that's really unfortunate for both this Cho and the Swain. Whew. And not to mention the Gunblade healing, the Big Gem giving us more gold, more power. That is a lot of damage from this Silco. Which, again, turns out triple Radiant item Silco, pretty good. So we work our way to 8, hopefully find our Silco 2. We could still go 6 Shurima, but now that we're playing around this Silco, I feel like it's much more strategist. So we probably switch Azir for Talia, and then we want to put in Jarvan when we level up, and that'll be 3 strategists, which should be enough. And then eventually probably Sejuani for Vi, so that we get our Freljord, get use out of that. And then maybe Nasus for Nefertiti. It's not like we need an itemless Nefertiti. Again, the Darken is nice, but we don't really need it. Okay. Silco throwing stuff in here. Katarina on the back line. Just don't ruin my big gem. Don't ruin my big gem. Oh, come on. So close. Oh well. Whew. Samira almost winning here. Good stun from... Woof. You can see the dogs coming out from the Darken buff. Pretty cool. Alright, what do we got? No Silco. We're looking for mostly tank items here. Thieves' Gloves is even an option if we wanted it. Cassante would give us an early line into 6 Shurima. Nope, okay, that's gone. Feels like Thieves' Gloves here. Nope. Alright, we're gonna grab 4-cost armor. That could be a Gargoyle Stone Plate. Could also just be a Bramble later. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and level up here. That's gonna give us Strategist. We want to find Azir and more Silcos. Okay, that's 2 Gangplanks. That's a Heimer. Ooh, Protector's Vow is gonna go great on Jarvan. Freljord Emblem there. So now we have 2 Freljord active, which means we don't really need the Heimer. I mean, we can play around it, but... There we go. There's our Azir. So 4 Shurima, 3 Strategists. That feels good. Maybe just sell to get our Econ back up. But again, we're looking for Silco. So we're up against the Cruel Pact player who has a Golden Egg, by the way, and the Darius 3. But the Darius 3 has no items. But that's also an Aatrox 2? Oh, God. Alright. Can we beat this? Big Gem's procced. Okay, we win this, actually. Whew. Do we kill them? That'd be great if we killed them. Nope, didn't kill them. Okay. So it turns out Darius 3 with no items, not that strong. Alright, 40 gold. Again, still need to really hit some of these 2 stars. There's a Silco. There's our Sedge. There's a Nasus. Don't need that. There, okay, Nasus 2. Yeah, it's probably Nasus for Nefertiti. We could go Nasus for Cassiopeia also and just have a lot of frontline. That's also an option. I kind of like the Cassiopeia in the back just because it makes sure the big gem stays safe and we don't end up having to put it on an Azir, but we'll see. It is still a Cassio 1. Oh, that Challenger Mordekaiser, but gets melted pretty quick. And again, the Morello just doing a big boost there, because Morello is also 50 AP, so you can't be sleeping on how much AP it gives you. And so 3 people in the lobby now dead. Again, we're really just trying to find Silco 2, Jarvan 2. Gonna move the items over to Nasus. That makes a ton of sense. Turns out Nasus is a better tank than Renekton. I know, weird. Cool. If we found an Ashe, we could put it in, but it doesn't seem worth it. Overall, I like the Shurima here. The Strategist seems good. Alternatives here, I mean, like, yeah, even if we take out Renekton, that's kind of weird, because then we lose our 100 health from Bruiser. Cassante is cute, but probably not an option. Not finding that Silco. There's a Jarvan at least. Alright, item-wise, would have loved to get parts for, like, you know, Ginsu's for this Azir, but right now it looks like we're just going to get tank items. Double Protector's Vow Jarvan. Okay, that means he's going to start right away casting, give us that healthy CC we need, and of course we're up against a... we're up against a Fiora with Radiant Quicksilver, so Jarvan can't really slow that down, unfortunately. Kai'Sa, oh, unfortunately kills our Silco here, but thankfully I already cast a few spells, and looks like we're okay. Whew, feeling good. This has been one of my favorite lines, by the way, the fact that you get the Shurima and the Strategist. And then it also shows how flexible Silco can be, because he can fit into a lot of different comps. Yeah, now it's a question of, do we want to keep the Cassante? All right, we're going to switch Cassante for this here. Now, like I said, that means the big gem kind of ends up on the back, which is not ideal, but is what it is. If we're letting Silco do all the damage anyway, Azir can hold this. Azir's getting the mana generation from the Adaptive Helm, the Giant Slayer, so it's not like Azir's worthless by any means. Up against a Swain 3 with amazing items, but you know what's really good against somebody like a Swain 3 with a bunch of health? Turns out Radiant Morello. Pretty good. Also helps if Cassante kicks it out. Oh, almost kicked it out. So yeah, like I said, I'm calling it now. Radiant Morello might be kind of good. Oh my god, look at the true damage. Whew. Radiant Morello, pretty good. All right, there are 4 players left. We've top forward. Somebody just hit their Silco. Where's my Silco? All right, well, at least we hit Azir. We just need this Silco. This poor Silco with 3 Radiant items, but still a Silco 1. A little sad, a little sad. But we have a great front line with the 3 Strategist, with the Jarvan, instant casting. So it feels like our next item should actually be for Cassante, stuff to keep him alive so he can maybe get a lucky knockout or 2. By the way, I'm screenshotting this because I'm working while I do this, so sharing that with my co-workers going, look at this monstrosity I've created. Up against this Challenger Mordekaiser. And you can see this Mordekaiser just kind of struggling to stay alive against all the damage we've got, so. Yeah, Silco pumping it out here. All right. Again, really hoping for this Silco. Now, it looks like the 2 players left. One of them is the Cruel Pact player. And the other one was somebody doing well. They're pinging this Aphelios. Is that something I should be worried about? Uh-oh. Well, we can go for Cassante. We can also go for Shurima. If we ever want to hit like 6 Shurima, that's an option. We could actually just take out like Swain. Hey, Silco. Okay, yes, Die Potato here has Aphelios 3. That's concerning. That is concerning. So the nice thing is the Shurima emblem on the Sejuani is going to make it ascend regardless. But if we want to go 6 Shurima now, we're going to be able to need to find a Talia or a Cassiopeia. So, but again, now there is a Aphelios 3 in the lobby. So it's a little scary. And we're up against the Aphelios 3. Let's see how it goes. Also a Radiant Thieves Gloves on this Darius. Holy moly. This is going to be challenging. Now the nice thing is Jarvan buys us some time. Yeah, it seems like with all the damage that's coming out from the Aphelios, we're going to need 6 Shurima to get that instant ascension. Anything less than that probably isn't going to work. Hey, we find this. All right, so Swain goes out. We are going to lose some Strategist, but I think that's worth it. So we're running 6 Shurima now, so we're going to get that instant ascension plus some more power behind it. So we just got to really try and position around. I mean, we're not fighting the Aphelios 3 yet, but Aphelios 3 is definitely the thing to be scared of. So, all right, up against the Mordekaiser. Every time we fought the Mordekaiser, we've been kicking its butt. I'm not going to lie. I think Mordekaiser is really hard to play without an RFC. If you can get an RFC, he's amazing, but he's pretty hard to play without it. He also really likes Crown Guard to keep him alive. But yeah, sure enough, we plow right through that. Nothing too crazy. All right, so it's us against the Darius 3, Aphelios 3, Cruel Pact player. Now, the good news is, because they're Cruel Pact, they're probably not going level 8, so that's a positive. The bad news is they have an Egg Cash Out, they have an Aphelios 3, they have a Darius 3. That's nervous. Maybe get lucky with a Cassante 2? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right. True damage from the Morello doing a lot of work here. Whee! against the dragon, you know, because I need a lot of help against the dragon. All right, rolling down, see if we can find that Cassante. It's pretty much the only meaningful upgrade. Nope. Item-wise, Edge of Night for Cassante is great. Can drop aggro once and keep on kicking. Whew. This looks scary. The one thing is they don't have a ton of frontline. Darius, Aatrox, Nasus with Thieves' Gloves. Now, it did roll good items. Jarvan is on the wrong side here. Is it possible to win this? Good Jarvan ult hits everything but the Aphelios. The Silco Poison's starting to do its work. Cassante kicks the Darius. Gets a second kick. Darius is gone. Nasus is still alive. Okay, we can win this. We can win this. That stun with Jarvan combined with the instant ascension seems pretty good. 6 shurima real strong right now. Doesn't mean every round's going to work out like this, but nice to see that we can do well. Oh yeah, Chase of Zero 3, that's happening. Whew. Trying to land a good Jarvan ult here. Taric 2 shouldn't change too much. Whew, I'm nervous. Is that Jace 3? Yep, Jace 3. Oh god. Okay. That's a lot of power. Now they have a Shiv on the Jace, so that's not really that big a deal, but Cassante gets a big hit, knocking the Darius again. Knocks the Darius. Not quite though. Oof. Big gem procs, but nope, not this time. Dang it. Alright. Look at that true damage though. Whew. The true damage from the Silco, from the Morello, doing so much work for us here. Try to position a little better here. But again, the combination of the Jarvan stun, the Cassante stuns, if we can land them on the Aphelios, it's clear we can win this. Which, you know, something balancing issue. No. So. Alright, 6 shurima versus Aphelios 3. Triple Radiant Silco. Is it enough? Positioning looks okay. We're pretty far. We didn't get either of the backliners with the Jarvan stun, though. Cassante ult is going to stun the Jace. I would rather stun the Aphelios. Another stun. Okay, the damage is working. The true damage is good. Big gem procced. Whew. It's close, but Azir? There it is. Whew, we beat Aphelios 3. All right, there you go. That's it for this video. Until next time, see you tomorrow.